Welcome to another video about the new moon in Virgo, and that will be around the 5th to 6th up to the 7th of September 2013. That Virgo moon, new moon energy will be felt, and that we can do something with this Virgo energy. Now this video is about how can we apply this the best, and I'll start very shortly on a collective level, and then I'm going to look for every sign starting with Aries and so on, where this new moon is situated and how we can apply this Virgo energy at its best. Okay, let's get started with the Virgo. I'm not going into the negative side of Virgo. That doesn't mean to say that it isn't there. If there is something that is not good about Virgo, is to use these too much. You know, if you use that one too much, things that Virgo looks at, small things, become the size of an elephant. You know, you don't want that. You don't, believe me, I'm a Virgo, you don't want that to happen too much. But let's focus on the positive side of Virgo, of what Virgo is all about, and this new moon, this new Virgo energy, what we can do about it. Now, if there is, on a collective level, one call for this Virgo energy, it is a call for, please, let's get objective. Let's wake up. Let's get real. Let's get feet on the ground. No nonsense. Stop the crap. And let's get to the real stuff. Let's get effective, and let's get to the detail, to watch the detail as well. If you look at on a collective level, I think everyone experiences now that in the overload of information that we have on television, on YouTube, on the social media, Facebook, Twitter, and all of that, what is the truth? Now, a Virgo is very much, and this Virgo energy is very much of getting to the truth by looking at the details. I'm certainly not saying that this is always the best way. It's not always the best way to just have the Virgo judgment method. Not at all, because there are other methods of feeling, methods of envisioning things. But as this energy is now with us, it means that it's a good time to apply it. And with this Virgo energy, it is a good time to, in everything that we see, that we act like a Virgo, that we act like, but if I see this documentary about something, where are the footnotes? Where are the sources? I mean, we are in such difficult times on a collective level in the world, and in anxious times and in crisis times. And that is very easy, isn't it, to let yourself be carried away with emotions, or even on a sentimental level, like what is happening now with Belgium. If you put on the television for the news, 95% of the news is about this king that we have and a certain family member. So it's about what is relevant here, what is effective, and what is needed. What kind of piece are we missing in the information? If someone is knocking on your door and you open the door and they say, I'm from the police, I'm an undercover, a Virgo will ask for some ID. Not idea, but ID. They will just first want to see. So we all have to be a bit more like a Virgo nowadays. I say nowadays, not always, but nowadays we really have to, in order to have a clear, good look and to be intelligent, to use our intelligence on a very cool level. We need that at the moment. That is on a collective level. So yes, we all have Virgo in our charts. We all have Virgo in a certain specific area of our lives. So we will feel that energy in a particular part of our chart. And I'm going to quickly have a look at what particular area we need to be a bit more like, where are the details? We need to be a little bit more like gentle, a little bit more humble, a little bit more, how would I say, a little bit more working hard for something, trying to achieve the perfection. So let's start with the Virgos. First of all, if you're having a birthday around this time, it's going to be a new beginning in some sense. It's going to be a new start for you. And for people who have Virgo planets, or especially in ascendant, it's a new start, it's a new beginning. It's maybe literally you're going to have a new haircut, you're going to cut your hair. Or maybe you are going to, from the country look that you have, you're going to change that in the business look or whatever. You're going to change in the way you profile yourself towards other people. You're starting fresh, and that is a huge opportunity for you, Virgo. So take advantage of that. Start something new. It's a good time for that. Now next, let's go to Leos. Let's go to Leo. It's a wonderful time for this energy for Leos. Why? Because it's the second. This is happening in your second house. This is a nice. How would I say? The second house can be finances, and who's good at finances? Virgos. Normally, they are very good with finances. They are very good with being objective. You know, looking at the detail, what's coming in, what's going out. And it's the basis of economics, isn't it? There cannot be going more out than in. So it's a good time to analyze your financial situation, to analyze it and to look at it on a very cool, objective way. And to work hard on that. On another level, it is a good time to understand and to work on your self-confidence, like a Virgo would do. Little steps, step by step, working on that confidence, and that takes a long time. So do that. How about Cancerians? For Cancerians, this is happening in your third house. This is wonderful as well, because the third house is a very communicative house. And what is Virgo energy all about? It's also about the communication. It's also about the spreading of ideas, the gathering of information. The third house, it's such a house of how you gather that information. What I just talked about on a collective level with all this information. Well, it's a good time for you, Cancerian, to look at how you communicate, how you do that. Maybe you have to redefine yourself when it comes to your communication. Maybe you have to communicate in a different way. Maybe you have to start visiting your siblings again and make a whole new start. You know, this new moon is not opposing Neptune. So it's not being in the mist at this time. On the contrary, it's opposing Chiron. So whatever you do with this energy, for everyone, it will be healing energy as well. What else? So it's a good time to start something new to learn for you Cancerians. It's September. In my country, it's the month of starting new courses, starting school. Maybe you are doing that. Or maybe you graduated. You just graduated. Because new moons are also about endings. And therefore, of course, new beginnings. Now, Geminis. Wow, this is a good time for you, for Geminis, because you've got Virgo in your fourth house, which is your house. And that will make you prompt into probably do a cleanup. It's a good time for the Geminis to clean things up, to purify their house, literally or mentally or whatever, but and to distinguish. It's another thing that Virgos are good at. Distinguish, this is good, this is not suiting anymore, this is for tomorrow, this is for yesterday, and so on. So it's a good time for you Geminis to really reorganize reorganize your closets. That's something Virgos really like to do. I know it sounds funny, but it is. They like the order. And so yes, for Geminis, it's also on another level a very good thing for Geminis to think very deeply about themselves, about who they are, and to analyze that in little compartments of what you want to improve about yourself. It's a good time for that as well. Taurus, having this new moon in your 5th house, this is nice as well. Why? Because if you are single, you can meet someone, you can get romantic, and don't think that Virgo energy isn't romantic. It is, because it makes people, you can do something which is very, how do you call that, attentive? So doing a little thing, not giving a whole bunch of flowers to someone you love, but just maybe one. And not writing big love letters, but just maybe one sentence that can touch that person. Just by being gentle and by being sensitive, what is not difficult for you Taurians, you can really get some romance again in a new relationship or in an existing relationship. It can also mean that you're going to do something new with your children. You know, Virgos, they do love children. Virgo energy goes very well with children because they're good listeners. They can listen for hours and hours to their stories. So maybe it's a good time to approach your, to change your approach towards your children in a more Virgo way. Or maybe getting creative on a Virgo level, doing something with the hands or with movement, dancing, or doing something which moves your legs, or something different. But what else? Then we have Aries. Good for Aries is to think about the routines and to think about their day-to-day routines, how to be able to change them in a more effective way. You know, it's a very, having this new moon in your 6th house is very much about being able to improve your day-to-day stuff that you need to do. And it can start with walking out the dog and then doing the children to school and then the cooking and then the work and all of that. Maybe you're a bit in a chaos at the moment. It's a great time to figure this all out, to be a bit more objective and to think, okay, how can I solve my daily routine into a better effective routine? The same with health. The same with health too. How can I improve my health on a daily basis? So not doing, let's say, fitness for 3 hours once a week, but doing it maybe every day, doing something 15 minutes. Something like that. Now the Pisceans. What an amazing time this is for the Pisceans. Again, this is this new moon in the 7th house, opposing Chiron. So it's a time for the Pisceans now to really look, if they are not in a relationship, it's a good time for starting a new one. And it's a good possibility, but having a new moon, it means a new beginning in your 7th house. For the ones who really have a bad relationship and thinking about ending it for a long time, it's a good time to end it. But for those who have a normal or good or relatively good relationship, it's a time to look at their loved ones and to realize what they have and to be grateful and to be gentle towards them and to realize the little things that they do, maybe on a day-to-day basis, on a Virgo level. So maybe your loved one is cooking for you every single day. Well, maybe you can cook one day. And that will make the difference. That will make that person very happy. And therefore, you Pisceans, you will be happy yourself. That's the Chiron, the healing stuff going on. On another level, you can really realize in those little things that, hey, sometimes, you know, we are all having our good days and our bad days. And this person is putting up with me in my bad days. How good is that? In other words, count your blessings. So a very nice time for the Pisceans to realize what's real in their life, instead of going to the Jupiterian fantasy world or idealism of it's better over there, it's better over there. The Aquarians, how interesting for the Aquarians to have this Virgo energy in your 8th house. Why is it interesting? First of all, the 8th house can be a money house. So for some Aquarians, maybe there is a tax return. I hope for you. Or maybe there is some money coming in from another person who's close to you. Maybe you're getting a heritage. It's possible as well with a new moon there. On another level, it is interesting to look as a Virgo, so into the details, at your fears, and come, how do you say that? Put it into little pieces and start doing very small steps towards to overcome that fear. And especially looking why that is there. It's always there for some reason. So it's a very good time to work with that as a Virgo, with those fears as well. The Capricorns. Now, this is also one of my favorites. The Capricorns have this new moon in the 9th house. I'm having this, as a matter of fact. And why is it interesting to have a new moon in the 9th house, which is all about travel, which is all about belief systems, which is all about the higher consciousness? Now, this is a very good time to start all over again and to start new with your belief system, to start all fresh again, because sometimes our belief system collapses, and sometimes that is needed. Maybe that has happened to you for some Capricorns. Maybe that has happened to you and you need to change that belief system, or maybe through the detail because you have read a little sentence in a book and that has opened your view. It's a very interesting combination. The 9th house, which is about the bigger picture, and the detail of the Virgo. It can help you in seeing things so clearly, and that will benefit. You will benefit from that, you know, the next couple of months, because this is such an important new start. Sagittarians, having this new moon in your 10th house, also very good, because Virgo likes to work, and Virgo likes to work to be effective, that you can achieve something with work. So if you have this new moon in your 10th house, it means that you can start all over again on a fresh plate when it comes to your work. Maybe you have changed jobs, or not necessarily, but maybe you want to do things differently in a more effective way, in a more Virgo way. Watching the details, being very analytical, and planning things ahead for the future. And maybe something also that has to do with Chiron, because don't forget, this new moon opposes Chiron, so it's good to do something about healing. Maybe through your work, who knows. Scorpio, the 11th house. Virgo is in the 11th house for Scorpio. What is that all about? Well, this is another thing of looking at the detail when it comes to your goals on a long term. And people think 11th house is not an important house. Well, it is, because if you spend enough time at looking at your goals, I mean, of course, we all have to live in the now. That's true. I believe in that. I'm a Virgo. I believe in the reality of the now, in the perfection of the now as well, even when it looks imperfect. But that doesn't mean to say that we can't have goals for the future. So for you, it's a call, you Scorpios, for the future. It's a call for thinking in a bit more detail for the future. What is lacking that doesn't bring you to your goal? What is that little detail that you need to know in order for you to proceed your life and to have hope again to start all over again. For others, it can mean endings of friendships, friendships that are maybe ending organically because you have changed and therefore you will attract new people in your life. So also new friendships coming in. And then last but not least, the Librans. How interesting for the Librans to become more clear about things that used to be unclear and misty. You're having this new moon in the 12th house and having this very Virgo energy, which is about clarity, in a very misty house. It means that maybe that one little piece that you didn't understand about yourself, that you didn't see, you are going to see it now. And that will have a healing effect on you because of the opposition with Chiron. So a lot of exploration for the Librans into the depths of their consciousness, of the things that they don't see. Maybe other people see of them, but the things that you haven't seen yet, no matter how old you are. So take advantage of that, you Librans, to understand yourself better and more complete. So that's it for all the signs for this new moon, where it is in your chart. I hope it was helpful. I wish you all the best with this new moon, with this new Virgo moon energy, and see you soon. Bye bye.